right, we'll get started. Thank you for coming. We're gonna have this recorded. So yeah. So welcome to the RowdyHacks 10 organizer info session for logistics and hacker experience. I would first advise you to check and phrase some credit. Are you in ACM? You're about to. Hey, make sure you're registered as a member. Just scan that QR code. You'll get the gist of everything. You got it. All right. Right, well, so let's start off with who are we? My name is Nathan Zuniga. I was the RowdyHacks 9 co-director, and now I am the RowdyHacks 10 director-elect. So I'm very excited to get this started. Over here to the very right, we got May Solom, the RowdyHacks 9 director, who's going to come back on the RowdyHacks team and help us out even more. And then we got Alex Mujica. Brother, I took it straight from Slack. All right, whatever. He was on the RowdyHacks 9 logistics team. So yeah, let's give it a round of applause for them for coming out today. Yeah. All right. Well, these are all the RowdyHacks organizer teams. There's logistics, public relations, tech, outreach, hacker experience, design, media. We talked about design and tech yesterday, so if you want to get some more information about that, go to the YouTube. We got some info about that. Today we're going to be talking about logistics and hacker experience. First off, give big change. I talked about this last night, but for those who don't know, RowdyHacks will be moved to November. So we just had it in February, RowdyHacks 2024, RowdyHacks 9. RowdyHacks 10 will now be in November. So crazy stuff. We're still working on setting a specific date for everyone, but we know for sure we're trying to set it in November. So just first thing, general organizer expectations are going to come on. Just in general, see the vision for RowdyHacks. Be very open-minded about everything. I know you specifically. You said you're an engineering major, doing all this stuff. Just come in, see the vision, be open to the vision. You have to want to be a part of something big because RowdyHacks is big. We're the biggest hackathon in South Texas, so that's a big deal. You know, we're trying to increase our ranks up there in terms of the biggest hackathons out there. That means coming into wanting to make a difference. You know, help us get that extra few percentage points that we need to be even bigger, and just in general, of course, be able to work with the team very nicely. And then here's some more stuff. I'll go through it. Make sure you're available the Friday through Sunday of RowdyHacks. Again, as we get more, we'll probably have like a specific date by the end of the semester. Just make sure you have that because all organizers are going to be required to attend the setup. That's going to be on Friday, setting up the building before the actual day, and then the actual day of RowdyHacks, Saturday through Sunday. Then make sure you're attending all summer meetings. The majority of the organizing for RowdyHacks 10 will be over the summer, since we basically have like 6 to 7 months to organize. Half of that is going to be during the summer, so we're going to need all hands on deck during the summer. I know a lot of us might have internships or doing other stuff during that time. We will, of course, be like aware of that and accommodating to it, but whenever we do have the meetings, make sure you're able to attend those. Because like I said, the expectations that you want to be a part of something big, you want to make a difference, and that's what we're all there to do. Make sure once the semester starts, attend the general meetings and meetings for your team in person, just because everything's better in person, more communication, everything just flows more nicely in there, and it's just make sure we're all there and being accountable of each other. And then completing tasks by their appropriate deadlines, especially since RowdyHacks, the organizing time compared to last year is shortened. Last year we had about 10 months to organize. Now we have like less than 7. So it's very crucial that we complete those tasks by their appropriate deadlines. And then making sure you're responding in the Slack, especially since the organizing over the summer is going to be online, of course. We need to be very crucial about responding and just being courteous of others, responding in the Slack, making sure we're all responsive, and and then give your input. Your voice matters. I've been talking about this. I'm not a boss. I am a leader, and my job as RowdyHacks director is to make sure that the best possible decision is being made for RowdyHacks. Doesn't necessarily have to come from me. I know a lot of other people have really good ideas and really good insights, especially these two. So really looking for everyone's opinion, everyone's input. So I would love yours if you were to come on the team. So just any questions about that for now? Don't got any questions, brother? All right, all right. we'll just move along. I'll hand it off to May for
Damn. Okay. Well, logistics does, you know. Oh, this is actually better. Okay, hey. Well, logistics does a whole lot of different things. Honestly, it's one of like the biggest teams, especially during like day of. So I guess according to this, logistics coordinates all venues, like the whole venue. So basically, this past year it was in the data science building, and that was like our one venue. Luckily, we're kind of still figuring it out for this semester or this coming iteration. So I guess that's why it's like all venues. They also take care of the catering, the purchases of goods, mentors, and volunteers. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but I promise you it 100% is. And day of, everybody on this team will be very stressed, including you and you and you. So, anyway, in addition to that, you do all the schedules and workshops and kind of some side activities, but a lot of that is also like part of Hacker Experience's job. So that's another thing is that Hacker Experience and logistics are very like intertwined, especially when it comes to creating the schedule. This past year, I'm not gonna lie, it was 100% a mess when it came to that. So hopefully this year there will be more collaboration between the different teams. Um, and yeah, logistics like works this year. We're kind of gonna do it a little bit differently. So I have my notes. It's not on the board. Um, but yeah, just kind of going through it again. Oh, another thing that's really important is you go through like setup and take. Is there another page to this? There is, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of go to the day of logistics stuff. So you kind of lead the general setup and cleanup at the venue to ensure the smooth operations. So as you know, Nathan kind of mentioned that you need to be free from Friday to Sunday because like we really do need all hands on deck like that entire weekend, especially people that are like leading the team. Hopefully this year we're gonna kind of make that Friday more of an orientation day because there just was a whole lot of confusion for the organizers this past year, so we're trying to, minimize that. So orientation, the logistics team would kind of be in charge of this orientation, and because there are 7 different teams that Nathan had mentioned, you'd kind of be showing them like what you actually do during that day of. Because while a lot of it is intuitive, it's kind of like there should be more of an order slash organized way of like maybe putting out food or maybe like setting up how volunteers check in and check out or judges and whatever. But yeah, you basically logistics team like make sure that things are done on time and like kind of sets up those times beforehand. Including the delivery and pickup responsibilities for food. So they kind of just like figure all that stuff out. A lot of stuff is kind of like focused on the food, but there's honestly a lot more that goes into it. Do you want to turn it? Oh, yeah. So this is Alex.
What's up? Hey. So I guess like May was saying, she hit basically all the points of logistics, what it means to be on it, and I guess kind of like the day of what it like is supposed to like run and feel like is that how we set up snacks, how we set up, our designs or like how we set up decorations and everything is gonna be up to us. And so while we're doing that, even though every team has their own thing, we're also like sort of like I wouldn't say like commanding them, but like also telling them, giving them ideas like how we're gonna do everything, how should it be looked, how should it be set up, most importantly. And I guess with also being on a logistics team, you should also expect that nothing goes perfect, nothing goes like according to plan. So you also have to have in the back of your mind that if this doesn't work out, then we can do this. So I guess like one of the examples that we had was that on the second day, most people got sick. So some of our team members were down. So being on a logistics team, I had to mitigate like certain tasks to like certain people. Not only that, but also stretching people to like other events or other like parts where they can help. Because for me, when I was running the breakfast event for day two, I had started off with like 5, 6 people. But since we had like less people, I had to give away like 3 people to do other and delegate those tasks to them. So it kind of just like you have to be ready for like any type of scenario, all in all. And I guess like that kind of stress, even though like seems like a lot, like it sounds like bad or whatever, it's actually kind of fun. I had like a lot of fun like doing it. And I don't know, to me, I think the logistics team was like probably like the best team. And like May was saying, it also coincides with hacker experience as well. That we also need to plan when they plan events. We also have to create like the schedule for them. We have to like understand like what they need, what certain like objects they need, whether it's like more computers or more like certain items, more snacks. So everything that happens the day of and day before, it all depends on us and how we choose to spend our time for orientation day will determine how smoothly and how well the day of and day two will go, especially when setting up, but most importantly when setting things down. And I guess that's my point of view, my experience of it. So
I'll talk a little bit. Thank you, Alex, for talking about that. Yeah, just to kind of reiterate some stuff. Logistics is definitely a lot about planning for the best possible experience, but also preparing for the worst possible experience. So you plan for everything to work out and set up right, but in your mind, you know, especially we've all been to a decent amount of hackathons. I've been to 9 hackathons myself. They've been to quite a few themselves. Lots of stuff can go wrong. We've actually heard like some feedback. RowdyHacks this past year was like one of the best like organized that like from a hacker standpoint. So everything that you're hearing like things like sometimes didn't go too well or blah 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 blah. Like the hackers do not see that. The hacker, like some of the hackers might watch this and be like, damn, all that stuff was going on. No, yeah, like that's what planning for the best possible experience. That's what happens. Like the hackers don't even end up seeing all that. So that's a good part. Everyone's keeping their composure. But yeah, logistics is basically like the captains of day of. They basically know everything that's going to happen day of. They know. Yeah, and they should be responsible for if anything goes out of the loop. They tie it back up. So yeah, we got any questions about logistics specifically? You want to mention something about logistics? All right, brother.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I was also on the logistics team last year. Some things that they forgot to mention is that basically some stuff they'll be doing during logistics, like managing the budget. Budget was a huge, humongous thing we need to manage over the year because again, everyone needs to know the budget, especially hacker experience. The people working on the venue. Again, budget is a huge thing, and then again, creating a schedule for the events, and then I'm missing one thing: food. So these are the main 3 things that you need to be like working on throughout the entire organizing time, and you will get a lot of tasks. You are hopefully should be very busy because like it may seem like common knowledge, but not many people know. But when you have to do the food, you have to have many options. You have to plan if like somebody drops out the day before RowdyHacks. You have to plan for all this stuff, the worst case scenario, because again, if they don't if someone drops out the day before, we need to have a fast recovery, or else we're not gonna have a meal. So it's very important for everyone to be working on their tasks and keeping these 3 main things like up and running the entire time, because it's very key for everybody to keep the ball rolling for RowdyHacks.
Thank you for that, Jacob. We just got finished with logistics. We're gonna go over hacker experience, but we'll cover logistics for you as well once we're done. So yeah, talking about hacker experience, I'll talk about this one for a little bit, and then I'll let my co-hosts talk about it for a little bit as well. So yeah, hacker experience, they're gonna be the ones mainly scheduling like some workshops and the side activities. All like the fun stuff. They're basically like the advocates for the hackers. Great, making all the fun stuff and like kind of basically setting the atmosphere for it. So yeah, they create the RowdyHacks survival guide. For those who don't know what the survival guide is, it's basically once you go to RowdyHacks, we always direct you to a survival guide. It's usually a Notion page of like everything that you need to know that's going to go on during RowdyHacks, everything that you need to know. It's going to have all that information, and RowdyHacks, or the Hacker Experience team, is responsible for setting that up, making sure that hackers need to know what they need to know. Like everyone was saying, lots of overlaps and similarities with logistics, but you'll generally be responsible for ensuring the expectation of the RowdyHacks experience is upheld. And not like you may not think it, but RowdyHacks is held to some I think it's like a different standard than other hackathons. I feel like everyone comes to RowdyHacks just expecting something different. Like there's always just that vibe that like you come to RowdyHacks expecting, and we'll make sure that you know what that vibe is. But yeah, it's making sure that that experience is held, and yeah, collaborating with other teams to ensure proper coordination. Do y'all wanna? Yeah, I'll let y'all talk a little bit about this.
So I wasn't really on the hack experience team per se, but like as I was saying before, like the day of, we're kind of like leading everything. And I remember at one point we had this event at the end for karaoke event, to which no one planned it because everyone was sick at that point. So being on a logistics team, you have to like come up with something on the spot. And even though it's like really stressful at that like point, with only an hour of planning to plan an entire event, it's still a lot of fun. So the karaoke event, it was me, Jacob, and Sardak, who was a part of the tech team, that we actually planned a whole karaoke event. And what that entails is that you have to be ready to like for anything to go wrong, even if that event is not even being planned out fully, or if the people who are planning it weren't really there. So I mean, like I said, you have to be ready for anything because anything can go wrong at any point. But besides that, I don't really have much experience with hacker experience. So passing on to May.
Thanks, Alex, and Nathan, obviously. But yeah, pretty much all of that. I guess like to go a little bit more in depth, maybe. Hacker Experience focuses on like the side events, and while logistics like focuses on making the actual schedule of the event, they really need to communicate with Hacker Experience because Hacker Experience is gonna communicate with like maybe the side events like this soldering workshop that we had this past year. So like they would need to communicate with that person like when there are available time slots, and just like communicate that with the logistics team so that they can put it on the schedule and so that in the end everybody knows. But yeah, just kind of to reiterate, hacker experiences like to like the more fun side of logistics, I guess, because you don't focus like on the technical things really. You focus on like enhancing everybody's experiences. So you decide like when the workshops are. I guess you would need to kind of communicate with the tech team to see like, oh, does this need to be streamed? Or like does it not, like do like who needs to be here and how many people need to be here to organize it, because like I know that for I think this past year, I don't know if we called it Jeopardy or Jeopardy, but yeah, it was a Jeopardy game, and I think that it was Jeopardy. Okay, it was Jeopardy, but it was a Jeopardy game. So anyway, we had that, and I feel like there definitely needed to be a little more maybe a few more, yeah, a bit more preparation and like organizers kind of there to help out. So that's kind of what Hacker Experience also needs to decide with the logistics team. Again, it's very like hand in hand. And another thing that Hacker Experience does is they focus on like getting the prize, or at least this past year, like they focused on deciding like what prizes people should get. So they obviously had to work with like the budget, like the itemized budget, to see like how much is there allocated to the prizes. And also the different tracks that happen at RowdyHacks. So this past year we had like, I don't even really remember, it was like a dinosaur themed track. We had like a data science track. But anyway, Hacker Experience decides all of those and the prizes. But yeah, I kind of also wanted to mention that like in the end, like day of, everyone kind of becomes like, they work on their own thing, but they also kind of become like a logistics person because they just go like where they're needed. So even if your hacker experience here, like once your workshop or whatever, it may be done, but like you being there is really, really important because everybody, again, like all hands on deck. And yeah, you just kind of fill whatever's needed, and help is always needed somewhere. But yeah, I think that's pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, we basically like covered all this the day of hacker experience, ensuring that the workshops were on time and set up correctly. So make sure that the person who's actually supposed to run the event is going to be there on time. And ensuring that the social/fun events go smoothly. So that goes back to Gibberty, making sure it goes smoothly. Just making sure it's fun. Like, although it was. RowdyHacks was fun for everyone, so we need to make sure that the expectation is upheld for next season as well. And then setting up the theme decorations at the venue. RowdyHacks 9 was supposed to be dinosaur theme. Didn't have much dinosaur decorations, not gonna lie, but that's just part of the stuff that happens. Things overcome, but we're trying to make sure that that's better for next season. Yeah, make sure the theme. We're still deciding the theme, so don't worry. We'll go over that as a team as the year goes on, and then ensuring that the prizes are distributed to the correct winners, and then keep up with the general RowdyHacks atmosphere. Like I said, there's a certain like atmosphere and a certain vibe that's like associated with RowdyHacks, and we just gotta keep that going. I couldn't even describe it myself, not gonna lie. We just gotta keep doing what we're doing. We're gonna make sure that y'all are that y'all know that as well. Do we have any questions so far? No questions, brother? No questions, sister? All right. Well, right now, let me. I'll talk a little bit before I show the QR code. But yeah, I know a lot of what we said sounds like a little scary, but honestly, it is so fun. Like when you're like there at the event, and it's so rewarding and fulfilling to see like everything that you've worked for like throughout the year actually come to fruition. And other than that, it is a really good resume booster. I'm not gonna lie. Like I swear, like half the interviews I've gotten were just because I put RowdyHacks co-director on my resume, and I'm sure they can attest to that. Just having RowdyHacks and just putting all those like metrics on there. Like last year we had like 569 people check in. We had like 87 projects submitted. If you put all that and all the funds that we've had, like, bro, companies love when you have like team management skills, like those types of skills in addition to your technical skills. So really good, especially for you, brother. You said you're engineering, but you're delving into the computer science realm and doing all this project stuff. Especially, I know engineers do a lot of like team stuff. So that's things people will love. But yeah, scan the QR code to access the organizer form, or go to go.rowdyhacks.org/RHX organizer app, and then that'll just direct you to a tally form. But yeah, do we got any more questions so far? All right. I guess we can end the recording. Thank you all for watching. But yeah, thank you.